Well, well, well. It looks like I'm not even there in the screen. Yeah, I know. Let me tell you something. We're gonna have an interesting night because it's the first time me using this particular software, and I'm already having problems. So it's gonna be fun. Okay, until we have the software up and running, but we have a little bit of glitches. So just bear with us tonight. Next week it should be 100%. We got a lot of things uploaded, so that's great. Anyways, Hillary here in Ontario, Canada.
Hi, I'm Hillary in Barbados. How are you doing?
I am in and out. You like that? I did that?
And make sure you have more ins and outs.
I hope so. I hope I have more ins now. You know what's so funny is that I was, everything was fine before I turned it on, before we went live. We were in here for a good, 2 hours and everything was fine. And as soon as
Same thing from my end.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear me nice and clear, but as I start recording, my volume drops.
We'll figure it out. We gotta get. I'm probably gonna get a tech to look at that. Look at the actual computer during the week and see what we can do. But anyways, let's push through this, get through the hour, and let's talk about stereotypes of a black man. You introduce yourself, Teresa, for those who are new.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, for those who are new, I'm Teresa, and I'm here in beautiful island of Barbados. It's nice and warm with a nice cool breeze.
Okay. Let's see how many times it makes me freeze out. You know what, Teresa? You're going to have to keep an eye on the chat tonight through your phone. I'm going to close off that window so that I'm pulling less CPU and see if that helps. Okay? All right. Okay, let's get started. I'm flying blind again, so that should be fun.
I'm just going to pull up the YouTube chat.
Okay.
So that we don't have any long pause while I try and get this up into.
Okay, so before we go any further, we're going to say that some of the information that we're giving you, this is this disclaimer. We know we've researched this, and some of it, we being black women, I have black males as children, and well, men now, and we interact with black men all the time. So we just take some of their information, their experiences, and some of what we know in society, and what some of it we have experienced personally. And then what we've read, and we're bringing it to you tonight to have an interesting discussion around characteristics, sexuality, and what was the other one?
Color.
And colorism, shadism. Here we go.
Yes, I have it up, so we're good to go. So tonight we're gonna keep it raw and real as usual, and don't forget to click on our links and follow us on the various platforms. We have YouTube, click and subscribe. We have Instagram. You can follow us on RSS. Remember, RSS is always uploaded after we finish our YouTube channel, after we finish the live. And you can listen to it there on the podcast and share your views. You can share via those same platforms that I just mentioned, as well as TikTok and Twitter. You can also follow us here. Leave your comments and join in. Yes, we'll take your live and let's discuss more on stereotypes of black men. So the first part was stereotypes.
Wait, Teresa, before you go any further, remember to keep an eye on the chat, okay? Because I know I saw some people come in already, so remember to keep your eye on the chat.
Okay, I have one person watching. And thank you to all of those new members who have subscribed.
Yeah, we're almost there. We need one more to get into that YouTube community.
We can do so much with that 100th person. One more person. Also, remember we have our live coming in July, and we're gonna have something up. We're gonna post a flyer for you to join us. So look out for that at the end of this podcast, and we'll tell you some more.
Right.
Okay? So we are back with the part 2 of the stereotypes, and this time we're discussing our black men, our son, you look at all race or black men, they are judged mostly by physical appearance. It seems like history is repeating itself within our race. However, it is repeating, or we are repeating, the actions of slavery when the masters, as they were referred back in that era, posted us on the auction block, and we were judged by our color, we were judged by our height and our size. And this opens our topic tonight: stereotypes as a black man. And we're gonna.
I think we start with the most obvious one. That's the height.
Pardon?
I think we should start with the most obvious one. Is the height. You know, tall, big, black man.
Physical appearance.
Physical appearance. Yep.
I'm trying to keep. Hillary, how do you do this?
I have multiple screens, so that's probably why it's easier for me.
Okay.
Yeah, go on. Continue.
My head's bobbing up.
That's okay. Girl, you are on a podcast. It's all right. And this is going to be audio after on RSS anyway, so you good.
Yeah, so the first one we're going to go into is some research that we had here. And we were talking about, let's see what we have here. Are you
So,
sharing screen?
No, I'm not. I can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking about the stereotypes of black men and how, they're being profiled by police, for example, and with their height. And, you have that on the auction block they had when they, back into, slavery. And remember, a lot of this information is North American based. It did stretch from, the slave trade from the Western Africa all the way to North America. But however, we find that a lot of our research that we found and our experiences has to do with the Western world. So what we want to say before we go deep diving into it is that blacks that live in more dominant black countries or islands, they experience this kind of discrimination with the way that they dressed. Their social status and the way that they carry their hair, for example. That's where the experience is different. So, for example, if a person was to dress as they call it a ragamuffin, the police might assume that they are troublemakers, and you would take a Caucasian and put them in that same outfit, and he's either a tourist or they'll probably laugh at him. And not knowing whether or not he's a native of that country or not, or island. So, blacks hearing this from the, Caribbean or whatever will hear it differently. And this experience is mostly North American and European based. Go on, Teresa.
Okay, as human beings, we naturally elevate to everything we come in contact with. So, especially we try to gain an insight and direction from other elevations from other periods. So, stereotypes are really a cognitive structure that contains the perceived knowledge or beliefs or expectations of other human groups. So, these structures can often be created by a kernel of truth and they're distorted beyond reality. So racial stereotyping constructed beliefs that all members of the same race share different characteristics. So that's when you get the physical appearance coming in. We can be judged from if you're tall, you have a certain length in your private area, and your stamina.
Well, let's call a shade what a shade is, girl. This is hot tea with pleasures. We don't creep around conversation. Come on now. So basically, they have this stereotype that black man has big penises. That's what you're trying to say, right? And we're going to talk about that more in the sexuality part, but we will let you know that scientifically, it has to do with the genetics. It has nothing to do with being a black man. It has to do with genetics. And what has happened is that particular stereotype has traveled around different races. And that's the only one I don't hear black men pushing their back about. But it does cause problem for other black men that do not have that kind of stamina. And let's say what it really is. I think, Teresa, you have some research on that where it comes to, but you're going to talk about that in sexuality, right?
Yes, that one.
Okay, so let's hold up that till sexuality. Yeah.
The significant here is the young black men are stereotyped. They are threatened, which can have great consequences. The interaction with the police, you know, the police levies, and this is mostly, as they were saying, in the North America.
And Western world, and like European as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a greater discrimination from the police officers and lead stronger judgments of threats. They are challenged at the assumption that their height is intricate. Intrinsically good for men, and if it's a white man, the benefits from his height will not be the same for black men.
So basically, if a black man is tall, he's considered intimidating, versus a white man, he's considered dominant or studious, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The difference in interpretation, it matters not of the magnitude, but of meaning.
Mm-hmm.
For the same trait is a positive for some groups and a negative for others.
Mm-hmm.
And we might see this a lot when it comes to sports, like a lot of the contact sports, like basketball,
Mm-hmm.
like wrestling, football. You see that a lot.
Yeah, they gotta feel like, you know, that black people have this superpower. Yeah.
Huh?
They feel as though like the messaging is like black people have this superpower that we play basketball the best. But let's talk about why that really happens with those sports. It has to do with the economy. It has to do with economics, right? And you live in in a capitalistic, colonized system that is not made for you, and you having to get out that structure. It's very hard. So when you do, there are certain avenues, and one of the avenues for is sports, and
Sports and entertainment.
yeah, but that, if you look at it, basketball is one of the cheapest way of getting out of, cheapest sport to invest in, because you really just need the ball and a jersey.
Athletics in there can go there as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but the football gets a little bit pricey, but you know the parents do put a lot of money and time into that. But again, sports has become the avenue for a lot of marginalized people to gain wealth or education as well.
Yeah. So that part is the physical appearance, the characteristics of black man. Then we go to color.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a comedian, I think he's passed now, Red Fox. People remember him like from
Sanford and Son, Fred.
So one thing he used to say, there was a joke that he had, and he would always say that the black race is rich.
Mm-hmm.
The black race is so rich that we come in different shades.
Mm-hmm.
We got brown skin black, we got tan black, we got chocolate black.
I can't.
Yeah, I'm there. It's frozen there. I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay, you're good. Keep going.
He would say the black race comes in different shades. So we're rich in that aspect. So you've got shades of black, shades of brown skin black, shades of chocolate, shades of dark skin. And like Henry was saying, like when it comes to the Caribbean, for us, that what we call shadism. Mm-hmm. That's another thing that we sometimes may have to battle with, but not so much like the North American counterparts.
You think so? Because I was born there. There's a lot of shadism in the Caribbean. Shadism and colorism when it comes to light skin, dark skin. There's a lot of that in the Caribbean. Not only, remember the Caribbean consists of 100 and something islands, and I've been to a couple of them, especially like not to call out this one, but DR. I'm sorry, it was a lot. It was very, very obvious. DR, Dominican Republic.
Oh, okay.
I love y'all, but damn.
I'm a bit distracted.
Yeah, so that's the problem. That's the issue we have down in the Caribbean, is that it's more of shadism and colorism down there in comparison to here in North America or Europe, where you have racism and discrimination.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one is on the color and shadism.
Mhm.
The other topic we have the sexuality. Now with this,
You jumped the other subject real quick. We're back to sexuality.
so we covered the characteristics or
But we forgot about the braids. You know how I remember back in the 80s where like wearing dreads and stuff like that. Like I have a wig on right now. I do. Because I like combing my hair. It's a lot. and yeah, it's a lot. So I'm gonna put my dreads back on. But anyhow, sorry, my locks back on and not dreads. And a lot of what you see, like black men being able to wear as hairstyles, was frowned upon at one point. You see a guy wearing dreadlocks or something like that. All of a sudden, he was a rebel, or it was a negative light. Everything that seemed to any kind of characteristics of the black man was considered negative. So let's do a quick little history on braids. Okay, let's catch you up on braids, because we have that whole thing about braids being just the Afrocentric, and we want to let you know it traveled across many different cultures, mainly Afrocentric and Mediterranean and Asian, but it was meant for warriors. That's where it started out. So the braids started Yeah, so the first set of braids they actually have recorded, it was 5,000 years ago in Africa, northern Africa, and then in 35 BC, that's when it was actually scripted. Then you have in Egypt in 30. Oh, here I go.
Yeah, we can still hear you much clearer than myself.
So. Okay, 3100 BC, you had the Afro box braids. In Greece, it was the 1st century, the halo braids. The Aboriginal American Ojibways, that's in the 5th century. That's a pigtail braid. Then you have the European corn braiding.
I remember the pigtails.
Yeah, I remember. Then you had European crown braid that was in 1066 and to 1485, and then you had the Chinese staircase braid that was 1644 to 1912. Oh yeah, warriors. They were warriors. Any warrior would wear the braid, right? Yeah, it was honor. And then the Caribbean modern cornrow started out in the 1970s. Right, so
yeah, I remember the cornrows.
Yeah, I hear people saying certain things sometimes, and I'm like, know your history before you go opening your mouth. Okay.
I think a lot of the trends that we tend to follow now, because of who we look up to, who we see as our heroes.
Yeah.
And once they do it, we follow it and don't know the history.
Yeah, very trendy.
Some of their cases, they know the history of it, and that's why they add it to whatever performance they're doing. But we, as the public looking upon, we just see it as something that's trending, and we go for it.
Well, I'm going to go a little bit off script right now, but remember the whole tattoo situation where tattoos were frowned upon, and it was a stamp of Satan and all of that stuff. Remember that? And now everybody got a tattoo. Yeah. Yeah. Then it went from Satan to bikers.
The chains that women wore on the ankles.
Yes. Yeah. So so black men, when they wore different, because they're very complex in style when it comes to hairstyles. They, anytime they would have a certain hairstyle, they were judged by the hairstyle, and it was always negative to a point of being a rebel, right? So let's go on to the next one.
The persons were so step you there.
Mm-hmm.
Same direction.
Mm-hmm. And that is not only outside the culture, but inside the culture as well.
Yeah, inside the culture.
Because it was societal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go to the next one.
So the question is, does braid belong to one culture?
No, it does not. It does not. It has to do with warrior and within tribal standings and within the historical ancestral places. And every culture had their own expression of war, and that was it. The Africans have as an expression. It was more of an expression, but as the years went on, it became more about war.
But did you know that when a woman wore two braids, that symbolized that she was married?
Yeah, depends on what tribe it was within that as well too.
This was in what they call old Russia.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Old Russia, they were saying that.
Every culture has their own history when it comes to braiding. But yes, it started out in Africa because Africa is the oldest history we have, and I'm gonna say it's the first race. So we have to so obviously it started out there, and just over the history, it became a warrior's path, and then after that it came more trending in the North American culture, and expand from there. But a lot of people wear braids and have no clue why they're wearing it, other than the fact that it looks good.
Okay, the next one is the sexuality of the black man.
Uh-oh.
So,
I smile because this is the only part. This is the only part that most black men don't argue about. They don't try to put this stereotype down. Nope.
So they did some research on this one, and if you had time, we'll let you listen to an excerpt that we found. It was a discussion between a professor, I'm not going to say his first name, Miller Young, the surname, Herbert Samuels, as well as Herbert Samuels.
Talk a little louder, Teresa. Apparently you sound far away.
And a professor of natural and applied science at LaGuardia Community College in New York. And do we have, look at the chat. No, we don't have anyone in the chat. But one of our chat members, I think, is located in that area.
Oh, okay. They were there.
Shed some light on the college. And then we have Miller Young. She's a woman study professor. She's at the University of California, Santa Barbara.
Okay.
So they had this discussion, and one of the things that was mentioned, what do you think they say about the black man and his body? What is one of the main things they think that is discussed when it comes to stereotyping black men? You hear, Hillary?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, obviously it's the penis. Obviously it's penis and his duration in bed. Probably it's all sexualized.
Yeah.
There's a fascination that started out with the whole slavery, and when a lot of white women were fascinated by the exoticness of black men. That's what the word that was used, and used that as a catalyst to commit crime. Let's call it what it was, And but what has happened over the years is that stereotype has implanted itself into our community, and it has never been stopped. It's now become believed. Yes, all black men have big penises, and all black men are really good and bad, and all black men. And then so what happens is, as a black man, I'm not a black man, but I'm just saying from what I heard, as a black man, and you do not live up to that stereotype, you feel inferior or something's wrong with you, and there's nothing wrong with you. Okay? Because every person, every culture around the world, men or people who identify as male that have male parts, they're different sizes. Okay? You're not the one size. Like one size fits all.
It's not decided what you do with it.
There you go. Because you have a long Johnson don't mean you're good in bed.
What's that?
I said because you got a long Johnson don't mean you're good in bed. Has nothing to do with it. Come on now.
And this really reflects the way in which black bodies have historically devalued in market since slavery was present.
Well, this we were talking about that last week when we talked about this, how how we ourselves started to actually advocate this in our own community and make it a black thing. It's not. It really isn't. It's a stereotype that was put on us through slavery.
Yeah, when you get up on that option block.
That was one thing that was measured. You know why it was measured, right? Because they actually believed that the longer the black man's penis was, that he can actually give more babies. And more babies meant more productivity for their plantation. That's what it really came from. So, stop. Compare yourself to that.
Their wife started
wanting to test it out.
Therefore, that's how you see we are so mixed. But yet still, we tend to look at each other as brown skin black, chocolate black.
But you know what we don't talk about, and people tend to shun away from this. And we had this discussion during the male abuse episode. We don't want to call what really happened, and we all believe that men can't be raped for some reason. And when you have a situation like that during slavery, where you're asked to perform a sexual act, and even if you had a wife or a girlfriend or whatever, and brought into the mistress area to perform sex, and she just performed sex, and she wants sex, and if you don't do it, you're gonna die. Let's call it what it was. It was rape. People don't want to call it that, but that's what it was. There we go.
With men, they see it as a man that fries bread. It's like, why would you fry bread?
Yeah, what's wrong with you? You're weak. This, that. But think of it. Your life. We can never put our mentality, because our mentality is so informational and so advanced, quote unquote, in regards to where we are now as free people. But imagine your life depended on whether or not you let this person have sex with you, or take advantage of you, or watch you and your wife have sex, and or demand that you have sex with any other female that they pointed out. So it's a big history behind that whole sexualization of black men and black women.
No, you're saying that. Would you say that act gave way to stripping and pornography? Because those now are within industry.
That's a whole other situation, girl. There's a lot behind that, but that also comes in the complex of molestation and pedophile behavior, and economics, and there's a lot of things that go on behind the sex trade. Okay, are we done with the characteristics of black men? Not characteristics, the sexuality.
The sexuality one that was finished.
Yeah, cause you know you ever seen that? Cause they who was it? Oh, let's talk about Emmett Till, right? You heard the case, remember the young boy that, because they made the movie about that, and they made a series about that, and they're still talking about that. And the reason that was brought up was the case that happened during, I think it was during COVID, where the young man was visiting. The young man was visiting a. I have my phone keeps going off. The young man was.
Nicola is just chatting to me, but I'm not seeing what she's seeing.
Okay, Nicola, can you just tell us a little bit what's going on in the chat? Because we can't see the chat. Teresa's will make me go into the chat. Okay, you continue. Okay, Teresa, you continue. I'm going to get a chat. You continue.
There's a question there. She said. So if you can tackle that.
Yeah, I'll look at it. You go ahead.
They have 9 stereotypes of black men that aren't always true. The first one we're going to touch is all black men are well endowed.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is going to start a discussion with others.
So Victor asks how you know. How do you know what? I'm not sure what he's talking about. And then so Tennyson says, oh, long lead pipe. Oh, here we go. Tennyson says, so what about women? What? Hold on. So Tennyson says, so what? Let me just unfreeze myself here. What about women? Why are most women drawn to a man with a big Johnson? Because there's so much stereotype and so much glorification put on black men penises or men with long penises that it's gone from actuality to factuality. People actually take that as fact and ran with it. Okay, so it's glorified, and like anything that's glorified, it takes on its own little beast and just run away or down the street. Uh-oh.
Okay, I'm seeing it now, honey.
Oh Lord, they're having fun in there with each other. It's 3 men in there talking away to each other. But no, so Tennyson, that's my answer for that, is that, you know, it's been glorified, and to the point that if a man has a big penis, then he knows how to use it, and you know, you're going to have the best sex ever, and this and that. That's nonsense. It's all stereotype, and I don't care what any woman tell you, and if a woman tell you this, then she's lying. Okay, if she's not into the guy and she really can't feel what she's feeling, it don't matter how long it is. Might as well leave it at home. Am I wrong, Teresa? She's smiling.
The first one is
oh God.
The nice stereotypes of black men that aren't always true. And
yeah.
We have Rudy, Victor, Tennyson, those three in the chat. They can weigh in.
They're black men, so they can weigh in on this. What you mean? It's all stereotype. So hold on. Here we go. Right here. So Rudy's saying, what do you mean it's all stereotype? This is the problem. So what happens is that a lot of these stereotypes and discrimination has been embedded into our culture. And now we start actually preaching it and believing it and making it part of the black culture. It is not part of the black culture. Let me make that clear, okay? There are people around the world, every color, culture, whatever you want to call it, ethnicity, everything. The size of a person's Johnson, let's call it that, okay, or according to Victor, lead pipe, okay, has to do with the genetics, okay? And I've worked in a certain area where I've seen multiple cultures and people, male, and everybody have different sizes, okay? So don't think there's not a one size fit all t-shirt that, you know, all black men have big penises. That's not true. And if you continue to believe that and continue to spread that stereotype, black men that do not fit into that category will feel as though they're not, measured up to, or they're not measured up to the standards of. And that's not true. That's a stereotype. Okay? Yeah, we know that. I don't believe you don't have to believe it, Tenzin. Tenzin's like, I'm not gonna believe it. And this is the thing. That's the okay, so let me ask these black men that are in the chat, okay? Let me ask these black men that are in the chat. There's a whole bunch of stereotypes about black men, right? This is the only one you guys don't argue about. Why? I want to hear. I want to hear what you black men in the chat have to say about that. This is the only stereotype that you do not combat about. Teresa, continue. They'll answer eventually. Continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Black men are extremely sexual. Can you keep this one as it is, or what do they think?
Black. Oh, that's another stereotype, because there's some other cultures that you can consider very sexual as well. You know, we have to start. These are humanistic characteristics, and they've taken. Yep. Of course, we have various types. I agree, Victor.
We are
Mhm.
with all ways.
Mhm. Mhm.
Never had a compliment yet.
Nobody ain't talking about you personally. He's ready to argue. He want to put a stamp on it. So I don't see you protesting about the other stereotypes and saying they're true. How about that? Yeah. Continue, Teresa. Teresa, let's go to the next subject, because we'll be here all night.
This is the other one. Black men are great athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Black men are, they are players.
Mm-hmm.
Popular urban culture will perpetuate the myth of the black man as a player. Is this, in fact, true or not true?
Right.
I believe we have superior genetics.
Oh, Lord. Tennyson is tainted. I'm done with him.
What about the black men that fall short?
Yep.
What happens?
They don't fall short. You're not falling short. You're just built that way. It's not about falling short, right? And this is the thing, is that we have to stop taking the stereotype that was put upon us through slavery and making it real. That's not a real fact. The fact is, everyone is built differently. Okay? There are tall people, short people, brown people, light-skinned people, dark-skinned people. There's a whole variation of people. Some people with wider hips, not so wide hips.
And men are not judged. Their penis is not judged by the length of their feet or their shoe size.
Oh, God, please. That's a whole other situationship. That's a lie. And you will be highly disappointed if you go that route. Lord. No, I corrected her, Victor. He goes, what do you mean fall short? I corrected her. It was a wrong text. It's not falling short.
The next one.
Yeah.
Black men like white women.
Oh, Lord.
This is
Where did that come from?
This is part of the nice stereotypes of black man.
Okay.
Always true.
My dog is here going, I want to go out. I want to go out. I can't go. You're going to have to wait, girl. You need 20 minutes.
So, Ruth is saying that we should have this conversation in Barbados. This should be an interesting one for the
Yeah, we can have this conversation in Barbados, because I want, you know what's so funny? You know why he's saying that? Because he knows that he's going to have an audience, and the audience is going to agree with him, because a whole bunch of black people be standing there right there. That's why. You know, I don't hear. Huh?
When we are on the panel, yes, that can be arranged.
Of course. You know what? We would like to invite Tennyson, Victor, and Rudy onto the show to join us on camera, okay, and talk about black men. We're gonna set that up, because we have to have some conversation, because we need to get rid of these stereotypes, okay? One size does not fit all, and not every. It's the same thing when it comes to females. Not all vaginas look exactly the same. We look differently. Vulvas look different, okay? and they just are. Get over it.
Okay, the next one is black
Yeah.
men don't care. Oh God, nothing is gonna go with that one. They are good dancers. Let's do the next one.
Okay, yes, you all three, all.
People become known for dancing, but it's that one good mover can overshadow the others who just escape through the fire exit to avoid being pulled onto the floor. Okay. What do you think with that one?
Why didn't hear you?
Black men are good dancers.
Are good dancers? I think anyone with rhythm is a good dancer. Anyone that enjoys music is a good dancer. How about that? You can say that about Latino men too. You can say that about any man that has a good ability to move his waist and his hips, and he knows what he's doing on the dance floor. We just have.
And I think that came from
We have the ability to we use
media.
yeah no but we use a lot of drumming and rhythm to for communication, you know, in the as part of the culture, right? That's why it started out, you know, as obviously it's transitioned over the years, and we're very highly invested in music. Music is a part of the culture, you know, but that goes for a lot of other cultures as well. However, they don't use as much drumming as we do. So there you go. There goes the rhythm.
One of the things that they have here.
You know, the more I break down these stereotypes, the more people are like yelling at me in the chat. Let me see what they say. Top rate show in Barbados. Uh-oh. They want all three to want to be on at the same time. Victor, you need Jesus.
One of the last ones they have here is stereotypes. The black men that aren't always true. They
Okay.
have the most children.
The most children? Don't let me call up population sizes.
They have the most children. That's one here.
That's a lie.
The urban and pop culture has played on different sections to
Mm,
the point that most poor unfamiliar black people
right.
maintain some crazy ideas about the world that we live in. We have most children, we often find ourselves in trouble, and we can't take care of it.
So let's ignore the fact that economically we are, you know, we're set up to fail. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore the fact that this society, this colonialistic society of white supremacists and oppression has not played a part in, you know, the way in which marginalized people live in this continent. Let's ignore all that. Oh God! So we are better in bed and better dancers. Yes, that's a stereotype, Tennyson. Stop spreading stereotypes.
Okay, we have one here. 22 black men who face the same stereotype.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't think we can go through this one because this one is more of a live, similar to what we have.
Mhm. Talk a little louder, Teresa.
But this one here is the 22 black men that they had on stage who faced the same stereotypes.
Mhm.
But this is more of a video,
Mhm.
but you can have a look at it. It's called 56 Black Men.
Okay.
And the aim is to challenge the negative perceptions of the black men in the media and the wider society.
Mhm.
So that one is on BBC News Channel.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Keep going. The next subject.
So that's that one. What was the other subject on this? We have three. We covered those three on the characteristics and the color and shadism and sexuality. We covered these three.
So let me ask you a question, because, you know, in North America, black men deal with something totally different in regards to many cultures at the same time being afraid at a certain look of a black man, a certain, you know, look, dark complected, tall, heavyset, tall and heavyset, or
Another one is bow leg.
yeah, or even wearing, God forbid, he decided to wear a hoodie today. How is that perception in Barbados? How is that different in Barbados? Because I know that it's more of attire and social standards, social.
But here at the Caribbean, my experience I have seen is more of how you look.
Yeah.
But you have some with braids, and then I guess you have.
Is dread still looked down upon it in the Caribbean? Like in Barbados, I should say. You don't know the whole Caribbean. So, in Barbados, is that still an issue?
It's not as how it was before.
Okay.
However, in some occupations,
Mm-hmm.
we have this what we call system optional. In some occupations, it is allowed,
Mm-hmm.
and in others, it is not.
Oh, okay.
You even have lawyers.
I find that so ironic that in a black nation that this is an issue here.
Not just a black nation in the Caribbean.
The whole Caribbean's like that.
They have that.
Oh.
I guess that goes back from like your parents did.
Yeah, but that's still colonization. That's a standard of what has been put upon us, right? Yeah, that everything we do, everything we are, what we look like is wrong. Right? But yet,
someone that looks different at us come and do it.
yes, and then other people come and do the same thing we do, and it's called fashion. It's called fashion, and oh my God, she looks so exotic, and so, oh my gosh.
The whole reggae industry, entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
I think that started to make a way for the whole dreadlocks and stuff. That started to make a way for the whole dreadlocks to creep in
What do you mean?
society and be accepted.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
On the whole reggae vibe, the entertainment industry.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone started to look at the Bob Marley, isn't it?
Oh, well, I think in the North American and Western world, Bob Marley was the only Rastafarian that they knew. Probably him and Peter Tosh. I think that because the fact that I know them, tells you a lot. I'm just like, I'll call myself out.
Saying that you think that women in Barbados and the Caribbean tend to more flock to men with dreads than non-dread men.
What? Really? What do you think about that, Teresa? What do you think about that statement? That's a black man saying that.
I would say that, no.
Wait, hold on. Rudy, is that your experience?
Rudy have bad experience.
Rudy have a whole bunch of experiences that I'm just kind of questioning right now.
Yeah, Tennyson is saying what?
He said, and that's a fact. So Victor goes, apparently long hair is seen as more fertile and strong. Well, that could go back to the whole the Samson situation. It could be that. Yeah, right? Samson is strong. He had long hair, and then he cut his hair, and then he was weak. Remember?
Yeah, but that may go for persons.
Yeah, but I don't think that... I can't... I find that hard to believe that women are more attracted to men in dreads.
Okay,
in,
if the man's
down there.
in this year, where's the woman's strength?
Yeah, good question.
Where's the woman's strength?
Brain power, baby. Brain power.
Rudy, where's the woman's strength?
Don't ask him that question. Don't ask him that question. Tennyson says Samson was an idiot. I can't. Our viewers have no filter. None. He goes, what? Apparently long hair was fertile and strong. He goes, like a lion. And Rudy said, yes, and I see it a lot. So you see...
Tennyson know what he's saying.
Don't say it. Don't you dare read that. Don't.
It's already.
We're gonna ignore Tennyson for like a minute. Tennyson needs Jesus. I don't hear the question. What question don't you hear? Well, hold on. What question? You didn't hear the question? The question, Rudy, was where is a black woman's strength? And I think a black woman's strength I'll say this. Hold on. I'll say this. I think a black woman's strength has been put upon her, not something that she is strong at. It's something she had to be strong at, and that's multitasking. And that it has been put upon her because she was put in a position where she had to multitask, and because of economics and oppression, she has continued to have to multitask, not because she wants to. Okay? So, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. What do you say? Hair. Oh, Lord.
I was saying for
hair, breasts, skin, hips. Why is it all sex? You see, this is what I was talking about. We have taken the sexuality and we have put it upon ourselves. We need to take the sexualization of black women and black men out of our mouths and put it back where it's supposed to be. You know what? I'm going to pray for all of them. Okay, what point, what would you agree to us to a point, Rudy? Yeah, oppression, Victor, oppression. Oppression, listen, we live in an oppressive society. We still live in that because it's capitalistic, right? And family and community has been put on the back burner. People don't care about family or community, they care about productivity. Product is number one. Product is important. Money is important. Getting that green is important. Lives are not important, you know. And so until that changes, and I don't know how it will change, we are trying to change that. That will continue to be the structure that we live in. We live in an oppressive structure, and that is North America especially. It still continues to this day. For example, you're sick, okay? You're sick, and you have to take a day off because you're really sick, okay? If you call up and tell your boss that you were sick, he'll tell you, okay, stay home. Tell your boss that your kids are sick. And it's like, you better get to work. And how many people lie about on their poor children or someone, or themselves, I should say, and say they're sick when it's their kids. So again, we have so much. The structure of North America especially, and of any place that has been colonized, it's so built on oppressive structure and capitalism that we are still stuck in that model. We're stuck there, and we have to get out of there. So let me see what they're saying. What do you say about black women? The question was, what was black women strong at? The strength of the black women. And at the end of the day, what we are put on earth to do. What are we put on earth to do, Victor? What the white man say you were put on earth to do? Procreate and give them a whole bunch of babies so that you can put them in the slave house? That one? And then, first and foremost, but who oppressed a black man more than a female? Oh, here we go.
Who's this, Victor?
Yeah, there's a whole other conversation.
Hillary, I'm looking at the thing, and we have 100 subscribers.
Oh, yay! We made 100. We're in the YouTube community. We're going to celebrate that after the show, for sure. We're going to see what else we can do. We should be some fun. Oh, yeah. Right on, Victor. Oh, Lord. Listen, I say this, okay? When it comes to treatment of people, of individuals, right? Male or female, whether you be cis, bi, whatever, individual characteristics and human behavior. People treat people the way that they feel about themselves. And it doesn't matter if you're male, female, black, white, whatever. You treat people the way you treat yourself. Or you treat people the way you would like to be treated. Or you treat people the way because you don't love yourself. So if you have a woman in your life that treats you badly or disrespects you, you have a choice. And people don't like when I say this word. The word is allow. You have the choice to determine if you're going to allow that to continue or if you're going to, decide that I'm worth more than this and I have to end this. So you can say that women treat men a certain way, or you can say that, females oppressed men or black men or whatever you want to say. I think that goes across the board many different ways. Many different ways. And Nicolette's like, yeah, 101 subscribers. All of the other nonsense was made by powers to be. Bills. Not to work, pay bills. Okay. We as black men have been punished by all people, especially in history, by the white man and the white women and black women. That's Rudy's comment. How to men paying taxes. You got to get rid of a capitalistic society to men paying taxes. That's your answer. Sorry. That's the truth. And we don't like to hear this. We don't like to hear the fact that this society is structured for us to die. You know, they don't want us to live past a certain age. For what? Well, how would we make the engine continue? How would we, be out there working every single day and not enjoying life if we are not able to? Why would why would they want you to, continue? What? It's harsh, but it's true. It's harsh, but it's true, Tennyson.
It's the same thing with our education. We are taught.
And I want to be careful when you say black women, because I'm pretty sure you have black women in your lives that have been there for you, support you, and help you, or have been there to comfort you in times of need. So to say all black women, is very dangerous. I would say this. I would say that when you have a community of people that have been hurt and have been destroyed and have been, marginalized into a point where they don't even actually know what their language is, they don't know what their culture is, they don't know where they actually come from, there's going to be a lot of anger. There's going to be a lot of frustration, a lot of loss, a lot of misinformation, and a lot of dissecting that needs to happen that cannot be happened. Listen, at the end of the day, we don't know exactly who our ancestors are and where we actually come from. We have a guesstimate as to where we came from based on history, based on a few facts. But we don't know what our language was. I can't tell you. I can't go back and tell you my great-great-great-grandmother, she was from Ghana and she spoke. No, I don't know that. And unfortunately people, blacks that are in the Western world and who have been colonized do not speak their native tongue, right? And we have to realize that. And when you take a community, you take a person or people, and you have divided husbands, divided families, and destroyed them, and now pushing back into community and say, here you go, figure it out. There's going to be a complete separation of understanding. There's going to be there's anger in the community. There's frustration in the community. And now you place things like now you put us in an area like, you're in North America, figure that out. So yes, I understand that you say that you've been destroyed by the white man and the white woman and the black woman, but remember, so were we. Right? Black women were right next to you in the fields. Black women were right next to you in the houses getting raped. Okay? So, and we continue to be sexualized. And now we're being sexualized with our own communities. So don't put it off only on black women. And you yourselves as black men do cause harm to yourselves as well. So let's just say that we as a community has been victimized, and we have not been given back. We will probably never get back what we had, but what we can do is come together as a community and work together as a community to come back together and learn who we are so we can be stronger. That's what I'm going to say about that.
This is the problem with here. We carry the pain for over a few hundred years. We weren't there, but still we inherit the pain.
Yep, we carry the pain of. I agree. I agree. I agree that we.
That is passed on.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree that we carry the pain for a few hundred years and we weren't there, but we still inherit the pain. Of course, yeah, I agree 100%, and that's what I was trying to say. We've inherited the pain, but at some point we have to realize that we all we have, and we have to come together as a unit. I was saying to Teresa the other day that we have sectors in Canada, for example. You will have the Nigerians are together, and the Ghanaians are together, and the Jamaicans are together, but you don't see other cultures, other blacks coming together, and we are separated. I don't speak the language that Nigerians speak. I don't speak the language that the Ghanaians speak. So when I go amongst them, they're speaking their language. I feel left out and complacent. As the same way as if a white man was in there. It's the same thing. And so we have to start including each other in our communities, and so we can come back together. Yeah. But anyways, it was a nice conversation. I like this. This is good. Yes, and we. What do you say? Yes, and because the majority have become the kings and queens we once were. Amen to that. And we all, and that's why they blew off the noses of the pyramids and the pharaohs and everything, because they were black people. Get over it. Anyways, thank you. That was a great, interesting conversation, and we really we would like to invite Tennyson, Victor, and Rudy to be on at the same time. We will put the show together. We have no problem doing that, and I think it will be a good conversation and really talk about black men and black women, their relationships, because I think there is a separation between the black men and the black women that is going on in today's world, and a lot of that sexism and a lot of that oppressive behavior is now coming into the community even at a higher rate, where black women are disrespecting black men at a very high rate, and vice versa. And so we have to bring back the conversation to say, you know what, we need to come together as a community and stop all this nonsense. All right. Anyhow, Teresa, come on down to Barbados and go down July 28th. Come on down. Okay. Well, another topic for Barbados. Yep, about Bajans. Oh, yeah, we can talk about Bajans in Barbados. And I'll make sure that they don't know where I am. I'll just tell Rudy. Okay, guys, thank you for a great conversation. And we went over our time. That was great. That was awesome. And I hope you learned something from this. And we really need to stop stereotyping black men and just let them be people. Let them be, man. Let them be. And because we need them to help out our black boys that are coming up and give them some guidance and have enough strength left over to give guidance and the right kind of guidance, not just, that kind of guidance. And don't be telling them stereotypes and trying to make them make them real. Take away those stereotypes and let's talk about actual facts. And yes, you're not afraid, Rudy, but you should be. Great show as usual. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you. He said great show as usual. Thank you, Rudy. All right, everyone, that's it for us. I am Teresa. Before we go, do you have anything going on in Barbados?
Supper's coming up in March, so you can keep an eye out for that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be Easter month, March,
Yeah.
April, we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And I had a little video, you can go over and check it out. You can check it out on YouTube, how to get glowing skin in Barbados. You can see there on that video doing a demonstration at one of my pop-up events.
Whole Town Festival. He said Whole Town Festival is going on in Barbados.
The festival is on now, yeah.
Oh, okay. What is that? What is Whole Town Festival? What is that?
Whole Town.
Don't correct me. How dare you? I'm gonna get you for that. What happens there?
Oh, it's a festival. You get a lot of entrepreneurs coming out.
Oh, okay.
And it's the same process, similar to the same Bridgetown Market. It started this was Sunday the 12th and till Sunday the 19th.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna be down there with your products?
No, I'm not there tomorrow. I'm prepared for the one in March. So
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. What's happening in March? What you said you're doing the one in March. What one in March? What's that?
There's one in March that I'm preparing for a representative from UK.
Okay.
That is coming down, so I'm preparing for that one.
Oh, nice. Oh, okay.
With Easter coming up. So
well, you gotta tell us some more about that on the next show. You gotta tell us some more about that. Well, everyone, thank you. I am Hillary here in Ontario, Canada.
And I'm Teresa here in Barbados. Thank you for joining us.
Yep.
Remember to subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to those 2 new followers. We were 100, now we're
100, yay!
subscribers.
Yeah. And we thanks all the tracks going on: Rudy, Tennyson, Petra, Victor. I think there was a couple other people in there. Thank you for the conversation. Keep it going, and thank you as black men. Thank you for for opening up your opinions and letting us dissect them. I hope you come back. All right, Teresa, enjoy Barbados. I'm enjoying my cold weather here in Ontario.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we have a bit of a chill coming from the east side.
I'm sorry, I can't show empathy. Sorry.
Good night.
Good night, Lee. Good night, Tennyson. Okay, bye, everyone. Bye, Teresa.
Bye-bye.
That's fact, taking big swings, push your hand to the bat. Put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag. Cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel. I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real. But I was exposed to fear